a beautiful, beautiful serpent. A wonderful California creeping thing.
The highly beneficial California king snake is called the king, like the king cobra and the king brown snake, because of its tendency to eat other snakes, including small rattlesnakes. This indiscriminate predator will also eat lizards, lizard eggs, all types of small rodents, birds, bird eggs, and occasionally frogs, salamanders, and even hatchling turtles. These masters of the snake world are usually diurnal during cool weather and nocturnal or crepuscular during hot weather. King snakes are not venomous and not at all harmful to mankind. In fact, when you consider the wide range of animals that the king snake eats, it is the most beneficial snake to have around. With God's foreknowledge of the fall of man and the curse that ensued, He designed many checks and balances in creation. Predators like this one are exquisitely designed to keep the ever-growing populations of other animal life from spreading out of control. In a perfect creation, animals would not need to overproduce themselves to survive as a species. But we know that creation is no longer perfect. The Bible tells us in Romans 8:21 and 22 that one day creation itself will be delivered from the bondage of corruption, and that the whole creation groans and labors with birth pangs together until now. We eagerly await that day when creation will be remade, the curse will be no more, and the true king will restore his creation.
Rosy balls make great pets, but don't go out looking for one without a responsible adult who knows what they're doing.
All right. So many things can be found around water in Southern California. There's just not that much water. You can find all kinds of species. Snake! Whoa, 2 snakes! Whoa! 2 Southern Pacifics right in front of me. Awesome. Looks like we got a older one and maybe one 2 or 3 years old. People think you can look at the buttons on the tails and say, oh, it's 6 years old, it's got 6 buttons, it has 1 a year. That's completely wrong. The idea comes from like tree rings or something, but in actuality, that just means how many times it's shed its skin.
When a rattlesnake is born, it has what is called a pre-button. This little nub will be lost with the first shed and replaced with a button. Each time the snake sheds its skin, another button made up from that dead skin is added. A snake generally sheds its skin 1 to 4 times a year, so this fact alone makes it impossible to determine the age of the snake from the buttons on its tail. In addition, because this rattle is made up of dead skin, which is mostly dried up keratin, it is pretty brittle. So it is quite common for these buttons to break off from time to time.
Another thing, I don't know if you guys can see it, but these guys, like the speckled rattlesnake, are very, very good at sensing heat. They have those 2 really clearly defined heat sensing pits right there close to the nose, right by the eye there. Both of these guys, their heads are pointed pretty much directly at me. Tongue flicks are coming out slow. They know I'm here. They're not rattling at the moment. I think what they've done is gone into camo mode. They're hoping that I just don't see them. That's usually what rattlesnakes do, and almost all reptiles do. When you first stumble onto them, they just freeze and go, okay, I don't know if I'm a black snake on a brown rock, it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna freeze and hope they don't see me. And a lot of times that works. You walk right by them and have no idea that they're there. And it's got pretty gnarly venom. It's got some hemotoxic and neurotoxic venom. It can have hemotoxic venom, has the effect of destroying blood and tissue, and neurotoxic attacks the nervous system, the brain, the heart, the lungs, but primarily the thing you have to watch out for is paralysis of the diaphragm, so you wouldn't be able to breathe. So these guys pack a pretty good punch. We want to be